Advanced warehousing really beefs up the whole notion of transfer orders, where we now have much better lead time management and work tracking through when I'm sending material from one warehouse to another or from one site to another. Better labeling, better documentation, and again, this whole concept of work and having visibility and ownership around it. It's all about the work, right? Whenever we get to talk about material handling, it's all about the work. This is a work label coming out of advanced warehousing, where we're looking at what is the pick and what is the put. So given this production order here, I'm not using a target license plate, but I could be, the instruction is go and pick these items. If I had a barcode, it would be here, where it is, how many, and then we're going to go and put it at the bay door, and how many of those pieces, because this item is ready to be shipped. We also have cross-dock functionality, so purchase orders coming in, and I don't want it to go on the shelf and then have somebody go to the shelf and take it off the shelf and take it to the shop floor or take it to shipping. So that cross-docking functionality allows me to say something has come in and I'm going to skip over the inventory part of it because I know where it's ultimately going to. So instead of putting it on the shelf and then tomorrow somebody comes and takes it off the shelf, we're just going to go put it where it needs to be. And this is where these picks and puts become so critical. This is my inbound purchase work, telling me, you know, what's coming in. These are all closed, so I did them. I'm super speedy. Which site, which warehouse, if stuff was put out on a license plate, if I associated it with a work ID, and then this work priority. What do I need to be doing first? What is the most important thing for people to be doing right now? So a summary of the warehousing as opposed to the inventory control really is this whole notion of being able to use mobile devices and scanners, processing work in waves, load planning for trucks going out, trucks coming in, putting stuff onto license plates. So think about loading a pallet. So I have, you know, 32 different items on a pallet, and then I can associate a license plate with that pallet. So I just scan the license plate. I don't have to pick through the pallet and unpack it to figure out, you know, what's going on inside of it. Inventory status is more fully exploded, so that I have meaning behind inventory status of available and on hand, etc. Being flexible with my work creation, depending on the item, depending on the warehouse, etc. And then dealing with containers, as well as trucks, the transportation management, scheduling trucks, especially if you have your own fleet or you're trying to work with different packages and integrating with potentially other trucking sites or package management sites, and then the expanded warehousing. So what D365 has done is taken that basic inventory module and then created another module that sits separate but on top of it for warehousing that is giving us these layers of extra functionality. So what we're seeing a lot of people do is they're starting out implementing inventory control, and then they're feeding in pieces of warehousing as their implementation gets a little bit more mature and they get a little more stable on a new platform. Until they are running around with scanners and handheld devices, as well as using all of the new screens and information dashboards for the recognition of the volatile nature of inventory. Inventory has always been seen as something that's a little more stable, and in our modern day, that is not a true statement. Inventory is the spine of the company. That's the spinal fluid, right? That informs the brain to make the arms go and the toes wriggle, etc. And if we don't have good visibility, if we don't have good expediting tools, inventory delays everything.